Have you ever gotten something 99% done or almost there, but maybe you stall out or just don't finish it up? And then, of course, you don't get to reap the benefits, whatever that might be. So let's talk about that last 1% actually publishing, finishing, whatever that might be, because that's where the magic happens. We all know the feeling. You're working hard on something, you're getting close to the finish line, and then letting it sit. There is a real cost to that. There's no feedback, there's the loss of momentum. If you try to come back to it way later, things might have changed, whatever it might be, but you're hindering yourself until you publish. And I'm using this word loosely. This could be literally publishing an article. It could be creating a video. It could be finishing a project. It could be launching a product, whatever that is. But until you actually close the loop, you're not going to see the upside, whether that's learning by maybe completing a course, feedback from putting out that article, recognition or revenue from a product launch or whatever that is, or just the internal reward of finishing and being able to close that loop, move on, and do something else. Now, something that I've found to be really important to this is that you need to recognize that done does not equal 100% or perfection. So nothing you publish or put out there is ever 100% done. At the very least, you're going to increase your skills, increase your abilities, and it could have been done better if you'd only waited a year or 2 years or 3 years, but that's silly, right? The thing we want to do is to improve over time, and we want to put out something that's good. If I stumble while I'm making this video, I may try to edit it like that. I may have an or I may say something slightly incorrect. If it's really messed up, great, I can cut it out. If not, I'm probably going to go ahead with it, and that's my choice. I know there's people who would remove it, who can't stand it, but I want to share this information, and over time, I've gotten better at speaking with a camera on. I'm not perfect. I have lots of room to grow, but I've realized that what's better is to put helpful things out there and to get feedback and iterate over time and improve. And the idea kind of being the 80-20 rule of like, hey, I'm going for 80%. And if there's ways that I can improve past that, that's great. But in a lot of cases, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something that is good that we can then iterate on and learn from. Of course, there's situations where that isn't going to work, and that's kind of up to you to look for that and to understand as well. It may be your personal criteria, but if you're going for perfect, then you're going to be hitting some real walls. Also, just remember the actual realities of this. You can improve things after putting them out there. You could edit a article. You could generate some new artwork based on something you've done. You could update content over time. And when you're starting out in a newer area or something that just takes a long time to maybe get to the professional level at, reps or repetitions are going to matter more than getting to that 99% level. You will learn much faster by doing. I think it's interesting to think a little bit about why we sometimes do this to ourselves. And if I'm honest, I think that myself and I would imagine a lot of people out there delay putting things out there because of ego, right? We don't want to look foolish in others' eyes. We don't want to share something that might be a little cringy in retrospect. But if we look back a few years ago, hopefully we see and feel that, oh my gosh, I've come so far since there. Or since that time, and that I can do so much better. And hopefully, again, that's the case because you should be improving over time. And secondly, you're not going to get better by getting no feedback. And when you get feedback, that really helps you grow, again, in whatever form this is. A real life example for myself is painting and drawing. So this is something I've done off and on throughout my life. Like most of us as kids, we enjoy doing it, or we do it in some form. And then over time, it's something I have, grabbed a journal, like a sketch journal, done some drawings over time, put it down, come back to it a few years later. And a year or two ago, I was just thinking like, wow, this is something I really wish I would have kept with. It would have been nice to have that as, a history of things I've drawn or painted over the years. It would be nice to have improved, but, thinking about that, whatever the proverb or saying is came to mind, when's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. Well, the second best time is right now. So I thought about it and was like, well, this is something I could do every day. I enjoy doing it. It's a time when I can focus. It really helps quiet down, the brain chatter, and the outcome is fun, and it's enjoyable to look back, even the goofy, bad drawings, and to go back and to just make myself do a drawing a day, whether it's literally drawing my coffee cup or sitting down and doing something more interesting and diving into it, looking at what others are doing and learning about it and getting out there. And for me, publishing, it's not like I'm trying to sell artwork or anything like that, but I am finishing it. I'm doing a drawing and finishing it. And then, like I said, that could be something small. And then I can go back and see over time how that is changing. Now, if you're concerned about how to do this without being reckless or, potentially putting yourself, over a line where you don't feel comfortable with it, is to go ahead and set a bar that you be proud of, but isn't going to take an unreasonable amount of time. And I leave that vague because this changes depending completely on what you're doing. But let's just use the article. Okay, well, what should every article that you publish have? Should it have a 1-paragraph introduction? Should it make use of header text? Should there be an image included? If so, the style. Just kind of outline what they should have, and then you can go ahead, hit that, and evolve over time. And this has two benefits. One, you now have a bar you can hit instead of the unimaginable, or rather the unobtainable 100%. It's got to be perfect because there is no standard to go by. Also, you're going to help yourself create a process over time that you can then go back and edit and make even better as you improve. So for this, I would say, what's something that you have that's sitting at, 70%, 80%, 90% done right now? What would happen if you published or put it out there this week? Or could you finish it up in just an hour or two's worth of work and get it out there and start getting some feedback? If you can do that, I encourage you to give that a shot. Now, if you have any questions, comments, ideas about what I've been talking about here today, just leave a comment and I will get back to you. Thanks for watching.